Hello and welcome to Microsoft Hates Greg. My name is Greg Deckler, and I'm pretty sure I'm convinced finally that I am not just absolutely crazy and insane. You may think otherwise, but I think I've come to that conclusion now, finally. You're like, well, Greg, why do you think that you're crazy and insane? Well, like when you're the only person that when you feel like you're the only person talking about something that you feel is like obvious, right? And no one else is talking about it. It's just, it makes you feel like, am I crazy? Am I other people seeing the same thing that I'm seeing, or am I just nuts? And so I was watching the decline of Power BI, the quality of the code base, just the quality of the feature releases, all of that sort of stuff. Just watching that just decline over the last 2.5 years or whatever. 2 years, I guess. It's and I feel like I've been the only one talking about it really a lot of the time. Um, so certainly the MVPs aren't talking about it. But finally, finally, I found this blog article by Kendra Little. And it was published a couple months ago, back in March. And I found this article through somebody mentioned it in a comment on the Brent Ozar article talking about how Fabric was just totally garbage, in terms of, and Microsoft was hiding it and it's unreliable service and all of that sort of stuff, right? So I found it through there, and it was like, man, I could replace. So what Kendra is talking about is that the decline of SQL Server quality, right? And that she basically SQL Server quality is slipping essentially, and basically that it's getting less features. Like feature announcement, they announce features, but they don't actually real, become usable features, right? And I'm just like reading this, like, holy smokes, I could replace SQL Server with Power BI, and pretty much I could pirate the entire article and just republish it with Power BI instead of SQL Server, right? I'm not going to do that, but I mean, it's so crazy. About talking about lingering bugs. Oh yeah, yeah, we have those in Power BI too. Quite a few of them that never get fixed, right? And just underlying, unreliability and just unusable features, all of this stuff, right? And it's like, oh, well, it's because all roads lead to Fabric, and that's Microsoft's focus. Although, is that really Microsoft's focus nowadays? Because now it's just all AI and Copilot, right? I did the Microsoft Fabric in the Microsoft build book of news, right? And really, Fabric is almost seems like it's waning. Microsoft's interest in it is waning, and it's really just all Copilot and Fabric, or Copilot and AI. Like, will the pendulum swing back, et cetera. So anyway, thank you, Kendra Little, from the bottom of my heart for, like, okay, finally somebody else is seeing what I'm seeing, right? They're just seeing it in SQL Server instead of Power BI. But it's the same story, right? It's Microsoft has shifted their focus away from what's the crazy part is their two most popular products in the data space by far, right? Not even a question. And they're gonna lose people like in like I would say that SQL Server is in even a worse spot than Power BI in terms of that there are quality open source, low cost alternatives that do pretty much do everything SQL Server does, right? Postgres and MySQL and that sort of stuff, right? I mean, so if Microsoft starts slipping in terms of, and people don't feel like their SQL's up to par anymore, then why would they pay for it, right? They're gonna, especially in the nowadays in the cloud, we can spin up Postgres server just as easy as a SQL server. Why not do that, right? I think Power BI is in a little safer position at the moment because there are the obvious, low cost, no cost alternatives to Power BI. I don't think are quite there yet. But again, Microsoft screws around, man. They're going to open the door for a startup to come in and just eat their lunch, right? So I think Microsoft's playing a dangerous game with this whole Fabric stuff. It's a bad strategy, but what do I know? Anyway, that's all I had for this video. Thank you, Kendra Little, and hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time.